New York, New York. As the adage goes, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And so too is that true for retail. As a retail nerd, I freaking love this city. It is the place to come for the latest in retail thinking. One brand making waves in this retail revolution is Showfields, the self-proclaimed most interesting store in the world. We've been exploring the store and the brands inside it to dissect what lessons we can from this bold retail experiment. Today, Mother Dirt, a brand that's been telling us that we're too clean. Who knew? I'm Andrew Smith. Welcome to another episode of Off the Shelf, proudly brought to you by One Door. Holy wow, Mother Dirt, this place is just beautiful. Haviv Zahav, thank you so much for having us here, the head of brands here at Showfields. But first up, tell me more about this stunning spot.
Mother Dirt is a biome-friendly skincare. In a world of sameness in the beauty industry, they've come to the table with something truly unique and different, which is what made it really interesting for us. We started to strip away a lot of the bad that's obviously on our skin, but some of that stripping away is also stripped away some of the good. Some of that good is something called AO bacteria, which does a lot of great for your skin. Mother Dirt has reintroduced that through plant-based AO bacteria.
I adore that the space here is so representative of the product as well, and I'm a little nervous. You have a spray bottle, which I assume means you're about to spray me in the face, which I can't wait because the product sounds incredible. So let's do it. Well, it smells very good. Oh, that's very refreshing. The merchandising in Showfields is just delightful. This space in particular talks to its product so beautifully well. Take me on the journey. Tell me a little bit more about how when Mother Dirt decided to be a brand here.
We really wanted to reference as much as nature as possible. Then we got inspired by where the wild things are and really just had to go to town with it.
I love that. Yeah. You guys have a distinct story around social media coming into the physical space. Tell me a bit more about that.
When we're trying to find brands, we really want to dig into who's the most interesting brand out there. And a lot of retail today is safe. You're just looking for those safe brands because it's an expensive proposition. Some of those most interesting brands live on Instagram or different social channels through there. So a lot of our sourcing of brands comes through different channels like that.
The Instagram feed of Showfields shows this immaculate refresh of brands on a regular basis. What's the story of a brand's life cycle in the Showfields space?
When brands do join on, we do some amazing storytelling. They start at 4 months at a time and kind of go from there.
If you think of all of the people out there who are in bigger brands or incumbent retail brands who are watching this evolution happening around them, what's your advice to them?
Yeah, figure out what your voice is. I think for me, as you mentioned, I've been a merchant for the last 20 years, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into building the right product, building the right assortment, a lot of analysis, a lot of forecasting. At the end of the day, it's that visual merchandising piece that is ultimately the storytelling.
What's the journey and what's the first step, would you suggest to them in thinking about their visual merchandising differently?
It's not so much about thinking differently, just being able and to be comfortable to take those risks where you see it. A lot of times we fall into those safe zones, but stick to those moments where you want to take a risk. You really want to kind of tell that story, to really want to hit home on what that storytelling moment is.
Standing here in Mother Dirt, I can't help but have a strange craving for s'mores. I'm assuming it's a camping link, but I'm not entirely sure. Haviv, thank you so much for joining us today and explaining the story of Mother Dirt. This brand's incredible. My face feels amazing, by the way. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Here we've seen a brand who is differentiating itself to take on the giants of the industry. They've thought about merchandising and curation of product for their target audience of the modern, digitally native consumer. As retailers, we used to place product in a way that was logical, it was simple. We called it planogramming. But somewhere along the way, we lost our creative edge, the curator's mindset that is at the core of great retailing. We have to reframe our thinking. The time for cookie cutter planogramming is long gone. We have to be localized, different, creative, curated. We have to know for sure-ogram. I like that, that's gonna trend, watch that, know for sure-ogramming. But that can't be all. There's more to it than that, and that's why we're coming back for another episode of Off the Shelf, brought to you by One Door. And now, I'm gonna jump into these pillows.